Hello, everyone. I'm Vanessa Medor, President and CEO of Maine Savings. We are presenting this year's Nonprofit of the Year Award. Maine Savings recognizes that our region profits greatly from our nonprofits. That's why we recently awarded Maine Savings Beyond Banking grants to 5 very deserving nonprofits. Adoptive and Foster Families of Maine, Bangor Public Library, the Harold Alfond Youth and Community Center, Maine Needs, and Partners for Peace, and to support practical, community-driven work, creating stability, dignity, and opportunity for Maine people. The Maine Science Festival, a program of the Maine Discovery Museum, marked its 11th year last month, celebrating national and world-leading science performed by Mainers. The scores of activities over 5 days of high-level forums to hands-on family activities. The Maine Discovery Museum earned the Nonprofit of the Year Award in 2012, and now one of its programs does it again, as Maine Savings presents this year's Nonprofit of the Year Award to the Maine Science Festival.
The Maine Science Festival showcases what's great about what's happening in the Bangor region. We are so lucky to have so much science at UMaine Orono and over at Jackson Laboratory and the BioLab, that we have all of these great scientists that come over and showcase what they're working on. And it's just exciting that, the job creation and just that forward thinking of how can we make the world better.
When Kate reached out to me about the Maine Science Festival, she definitely didn't have to twist my arm to get involved. Science has always seemed super inaccessible and like something that people who aren't scientists can't be a part of, but Kate and her team make it super accessible for the entire community, from 1-year-old all the way up to 99.
Every year at the Maine Science, there are a lot of children running around, so it's definitely for all ages. And it's people who are curious about science and all things applied science. And it's inspiring for me to see people interested in science in a time when science is not as, engaging for the general populace.
I think for a long time, Maine in general has been perceived as a non-science focused state. And over the past couple of decades particularly, there's been this huge increase in science and jobs related to science in the state of Maine, and Bangor's become a hub in its own way.
Those are scientists that start new businesses, and these scientists, they know that they can start their business right here in Bangor, Maine.
I don't think people realize how much science surrounds them. I think we are given so much technology. I think we live in a time where technology is right in front of us. We have our basic needs met, at least in the United States, that we take things for granted. And it's really exciting to see children interested in science, because they're still malleable and it's before they found their grown-up passions. And when you see all the children, who knows who they're going to be later in life.
And one day, who knows, that kid at the Maine Science Festival, they could actually be the adult scientist that changes the world.
The first people I have to thank are the scientists and the researchers and the people who use science, who have allowed us to make them talk about their work in a way that is enticing to the public. And then second has to be the sponsors, because we run this program for free. It is not free. And we would not do this without our sponsors. And then, of course, the Chamber and the Bangor community. This was a crazy idea that didn't make any sense when we came up with it. And not only did people rally around it, but they got excited about it and they helped us make it happen.